Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today, our guest is Steve Burke with a company called Grouper. And Grouper is leading a social fitness movement that encourages healthy living through meaningful social connections and shared experiences. It's a great episode. We hope you guys learn a lot. In fact, many of you are probably already aware of the organization because they're already actively engaged with many Exchange Club members. Quick note on today's show, the address that Steve had given in the episode is actually slightly incorrect. We'll put the information in the show notes, but the correct address is hellogrouper.com/exchange. So just FYI, again, that will be in the description for today's episode as well. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you again next week.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Exchange. I'm Tracy Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Christy Lindahl, Director of Communications.
Hi, Christy.
Hey, Tracy.
So we were just talking about, it's been a little bit since we've been in the studio with our producer, Brad.
Oh, how we missed Brad.
I know. We're glad to be back. We pre-recorded a number of episodes before our national convention, which we just came off of.
Oh, that was just a couple weeks ago.
Right. And it was amazing. It was such a successful event, as evidenced by the wonderful feedback we've received from members, sponsors, exhibitors, guests, everybody. Producer Brad was there. So we'll interview Brad later about his experience. He had a good time, and he was out there recording people to put on the podcast.
Yeah.
People liked that they could actually sit with Brad and record something to be a guest on the podcast.
The energy was just amazing.
It was.
Gosh, everybody was so happy and excited to be together this year, and the location was fantastic.
It was.
I can't wait for Louisville.
Me too. And the Hyatt Regency at the San Antonio Riverwalk was such an awesome partner. I can't say enough about their hotel staff. It was such a delight to work with.
Yeah, a lot of our members probably don't realize how closely we work with the hotel staff, the serving staff, the front desk staff. We get so familiar with all of these people, and we really depend on them for a great event.
Yes, and they brought their A game.
They sure
were
did.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so if they're listening, thank you.
Yes. And, you're right. The vibe was so positive at that convention. It was just positive throughout. People were wonderful and enjoyed every aspect of it.
And I've heard some great ideas come out of it so far. I can't wait to hear the energy that's continuing.
You're right about that. And, we could only produce an event of that magnitude and that much awesomeness because of our partners, sponsors, and exhibitors. I want to thank them for really making it possible for us to do so much.
Yeah, we put it out as an appeal. Please help support our members. Thank our members for everything they do throughout the year. Come and talk to them, meet with them. And our regular partners, they respond. They want to come out and meet our members and share their appreciation.
Well, definitely. And when you talk about relationships, and we're in the relationship business, of course, our vendors and partners we have heavy relationships.
Yes.
They're invested in our success, and we're invested in theirs. And I was overjoyed every time I walked through the exhibit space. Generally, I was running through the exhibit space, but I loved seeing just the activity out there, and that people were at every table and wanting to learn more and wanting to find out what they could take back for their clubs to make them even more impactful, even more awesome, and help them grow so they can do more, right?
That's the point. Yeah.
That's what it's about. So one of our very generous sponsors and brand new partners is with us today. We're pleased to welcome Steve Burke from Grouper. Welcome, Steve.
Yay. Who was also a convention sponsor.
Absolutely. Yes. And thank you for sending out your team. Yep, I'm sure they had a good time and they represented really well. And Grouper is brand new to us. We just wrapped up the beginnings of our partnership. So we're excited to have you with us to tell our members and beyond about how Grouper works and how it can benefit people and also clubs like Exchange.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm jealous I didn't get to go to San Antonio.
Right. Louisville next year.
I don't know about you, but I find that downtown area, the old town San Antonio with the Riverwalk, it's such a really cool place. So much different than most cities I've been to, right?
Yes.
It's got its own little charm, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And people enjoyed that. The location pretty much sold itself and people were all over the Riverwalk. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. But thanks for letting me come on today and talk a little bit about Grouper and our partnership with National Exchange Club. We are also super excited about it. We have heavy relationships. They're invested in our success, and we're invested in theirs. And it just, I was overjoyed every time I walked through the exhibit space. Generally, I was running. You know, feeling like I was because I think our missions are aligned quite a bit, a lot of synergies in what we're trying to do in the world. And at Grouper here, we're trying to address something that the Surgeon General has called an epidemic of social isolation, right? With people in America that, especially as we age, we tend to, stop going out and, spend more time at home. And then, we're not seeing people. We're not getting those warm and fuzzies that we get when we do this, right? When we hang out and talk together. And we're all about trying to get people to re-engage, right? To join groups that they're passionate about, whether that's a service organization or, some sporting event or something like that, or it could be quilting or gardening, but you name it, right?
Yeah.
We want to help people, right, do the things that they really love and be part of that community, right? Be an active member, something that they look forward to and they can count on. So that's really what Grouper's all about at the end of the day. And we do that through basically Medicare Advantage and supplement plans, their healthcare plans. They have these fitness benefits that are on these plans. And traditionally, it's been all about trying to get you to go to the gym, right? But not everybody likes going to the gym. I know that's going to be the shocker of the day, right?
Or we have gym bingers out there.
That's a good point, because before, when you heard about it, like I heard my parents talk about silver sneakers, and that was the primary benefit that everybody talked about. And that was always my question too. If it's a benefit, why don't more people do it? But you're right. Not everybody loves the gym, I guess.
No. I think it's about 6% of the people who sign up for it actually go to the gym.
Really? Wow.
It's somewhere along those lines. But but what we thought is, all the data is, extremely in supportive and convincing that being social, particularly as we get older, is just as, if not more important to your long-term health and happiness, right? And so there was no real benefit out there that supported people, remaining social. And a lot of people out there are on a fixed income, and sometimes those membership fees, they have to decide whether or not they're going to do that again this year. So what we try to do is use that healthcare benefit to help pay for those membership dues and some of the costs to just get to and from meetings and things like that. So yeah, we're really excited about it. We think it can be a really big help to people.
Well, I agree. You know what? One thing that we say about Exchange all the time is really service clubs are in the business of bringing people together. To your point about people being social, and that's one thing that we talk about a lot, was during COVID, our staff started an initiative where we just randomly picked up the phone and called members just to check in and see how they were doing. And I remember one person that I called, he said that he, of course, was isolated, but he lived alone. He was retired, so he was very much alone, and he looked forward to his Zoom meeting every week for the opportunity to see people. And he said literally that Zoom meeting saved his life. That kept him going. And so when people think about whether this is important, it definitely is. To your point, your social skills may actually not just improve your life, obviously, but may actually save your life. So it's a great benefit. I'm glad that Grouper thought about that outside of just the physical health benefits.
And then you couple in the aspect that, with Exchange, you're giving back to your community and your neighbors. That even further increases, how good you're feeling about yourself and your life.
So true.
Yeah.
It's a great platform.
Yeah. Service organizations like yours are fantastic, right? Because it's not just I'm going to play pickleball with my buddies. You're really going out there and doing some good in your community, right? It gives you that sense of purpose that you're an important member of the community that is really helping things.
Well, exactly. And we've had people on who talk about that lowers blood pressure, that increases self-confidence. I mean, the benefits go on and on. So it just makes sense that you would offer this as a benefit.
Yeah. So how would someone find out if they have this plan, or a plan that would support their grouper?
Yeah. So it's pretty easy. We make the eligibility check really simple. It's literally just 2 questions that you have to answer. No personal information needed. It asks, are you 65? And what is your Medicare Advantage or Medicare supplement plan? And from that, we can tell them whether or not they're eligible right there immediately.
Wow. Super simple.
Good.
Yeah. And our members need to know too that although we have their personal information, we will not be checking on this for them because we don't share personal information. If this is something that you're interested in, you need to reach out and make that move.
Well, that's a good point. When you came to us, Steve, I thought, wow, what a great recruiting opportunity for exchange clubs who are always looking to get new members. And sometimes, it needs to be the right stage in a person's life for them to participate. And sometimes, to your point, money may be an obstacle.
Oh, sure.
But then we also thought, as we announced from the main stage at our convention, a lot of our current members would qualify. And I liked that you said that current members can definitely qualify as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They should not be discouraged for having already done the right thing, right? Certainly. I think, we're kind of equal opportunity, right? Whether you're going to join or you've already joined, this is a benefit that's already part of people's healthcare plan. They've already paid for it. They're entitled to it. They probably just don't know that it exists yet because we're such a new benefit, and those plans don't do a really particularly good job of kind of advertising it out there, so that they really count on us to get out there and talk to folks like you and help spread the word, right? That this thing exists and people can really benefit from it.
That's the key, because they say that there's no better customer than a satisfied customer. So I know when Christy and I were coming over here to the studio, we said, what we'd love to have happen is today, members are hearing this, so we'd love if they would go to your portal and sign up and see what happens, and then contact us. And we'd love to have them on a podcast and just hear from people about how it's working for them, what the program is about from their perspective, and how it's helping them in their club, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we should share too, Tracy, when we sat down with our first meeting with Steve and we heard everything he had to say, we're like, wow, this sounds great. And you said, what's the catch?
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds
how much do we have to pay you? That sort of thing. And he's like, it's absolutely free. There's no cost. We're just trying to get people involved.
Yeah, that's true. It couldn't be easier. And so I really hope that even some of our members who were at the convention, who were able to talk to the grouper team and hear their message from the stage, and I know we talked about it several times throughout the convention, I hope they went back and took the action. I know there's a lot for them to go back with.
Sure.
But perhaps now upon hearing this, they'll go to their phone and hop on and click that button. So I know we're advertising some things via our partnership. It's in our monthly leadership publication. So I think it's probably that easy, right? There's a link there that they can just click and proceed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Good.
It's hellogrouper.com /national exchange.
Yeah. Awesome. And we'll make sure that like Tracy just said, Steve, we've just finalized everything. We're excited to get it rolled out, and we'll be doing that in I would say the next couple of days. We're going to have a lot out there.
Now tell us, what kind of feedback are you hearing from people who have checked those first two boxes and moved forward? What can they expect in terms of a financial return and longevity, and just how happy? What are you hearing from satisfied customers, Steve?
Yeah. So, really quick, easy to find out if they're eligible. Once they're eligible, we ask them a few more questions, right? Because if we're going to send them a check, we need to know where to send it for one. And then we'll ask for a little bit more information about their healthcare plan so that we can make sure that they're actual member of the plan that they told us they were. But after that, the benefit is we send them a check for $50, and that's an annual payment that we send just for being a member, for having joined an organization. And then the other incentive is what we call an ongoing activity payment. And what that is to kind of incentivize people to remain involved, right, with whatever their passion is. So as long as they do an in-person activity, some sort of social activity, whether that be a meeting every month or every week, or maybe a service project or any type of in-person social activity, at least once per month, we'll send them another $20 every single 3 months that they do that.
Nice.
Wow.
So it's free, and it renews every
and they're
year.
paying your membership dues.
Wow.
And they're paying you to sign up for the free program.
Can't beat that.
Mm-hmm.
Heck no.
Yeah.
Nice.
When am I eligible?
I love that.
Not for a while, I know. I'm not either for a while, but you have a lot longer than I do.
Kristen, I love that you mentioned the $64 question, right? It was like, what's the catch, right?
Yeah.
Right, because it always gets down to that, and I always say that, and Tracy, you mentioned this. It's just like silver sneakers, right? It's a benefit that is included with their healthcare plan. They pay their premiums already, and they're entitled to this, right? And because they're doing this really important healthy activity, right? Their insurance plans want to reward them for it.
Well, that's amazing. Thankfully, a company like yours came along and is letting people know about this benefit that I'm sure most people had no idea about.
I'd never heard of it before.
No, that's cool. So have you, let's see, how widely used is this program? Is this something new that you all became involved with, and how is it expanding, and how do you see it continuing to expand?
Yeah, great question. It is really new. Grouper as a company really started in January of this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we used to be called something else. Yeah, but it is something that our founders looked at as a problem, right, in our country, and kind of a really big healthcare need, especially when we saw the Surgeon General's report last year and things like that. And we tried to figure out what can we do that would help address this problem. And we came up with, hey, why are we always trying to make everyone go to the gym, right, when all these other things are just as healthy for them, and maybe even more important in their lives at the end of the day. So we came up with this benefit, and we went out and partnered with some of the big healthcare plans out there, and we started to get the word out, right? So most people haven't heard of it yet because it is so new. Only been around for about a year and a half or so.
Well, I'm excited to see how our members respond.
I am too. And, you mentioned the U.S. Surgeon General who did declare loneliness as an epidemic. And I know Christy and I talk a lot about that because we definitely have the solution to that via our exchange clubs. If people invite people to come along and give them something fulfilling, a way to make a difference, a way to get involved in the community, then we're helping. Yeah, we're helping that situation for them, whether it's depression, loneliness, anxiety. Being involved helps. So you're right. As you mentioned early on in our conversation, we are aligned in our goals in wanting to help people. So this is so great that we can get together on this. Yep. I like it.
It's exciting. I think you get people outside of the house, get away from their television, and some of those things, and you start to engage with your community and talk to people and realize, hey, maybe things are a little different than what you're seeing.
And we've certainly fallen into that rut, over the past 4 or 5 years, for sure. So we always leave a meeting, right, saying next steps. Next steps, members, it's up to you. Next steps are you. Get signed up.
Well, this couldn't be easier, and it just feels good. Like you said, when people get involved in clubs like Exchange, it makes them feel good. And that's really the solution to the loneliness epidemic, to, overcoming areas, not all, certainly some are deeper, but just maybe anxiety and the need for social interaction.
Absolutely.
We can work together on that. Anything else people should know who are interested, Steve? Why don't you give them that where they should go again?
Yeah, so I think go visit us at hellogrouper.com/national exchange. And we got the really easy eligibility check there. The other thing that I would say is, for any of your club leaders out there who would like some flyers or anything to hand out to their clubs at meetings and things we're happy to provide any of that as well. We want to make it as easy as possible to get the word out and make sure as many people who are eligible, right, can take advantage of it.
You speak our language, Steve.
Absolutely. and we really appreciate partners like you who just come into this with a benefit, and you're willing to offer that support and that help. So we thank you for being a generous sponsor of the National Exchange Club Convention and approaching us with this awesome partnership. Thank you.
And I do want to put out there for everyone listening, Grouper is spelled Grouper.
Okay. Yeah. As opposed to what would you?
Well, sometimes domains have.
Oh, true.
I don't want to say anything else and mess them up.
Okay. No, that's true. Good point.
Grouper.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Well, thanks for joining us today, Steve, and thank you for your partnership. And we appreciate you and the team for your generous sponsorship and partnership. So again, go to hellogrouper.com/national exchange for more information on how you can make money while being part of Exchange, and also use it as a great recruiting tool to grow your club. I love it. We love that.
Love it all.
That's what we do. Thanks, Steve Burke from
Steve.
Grouper. Take care.
And thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Awesome. And thanks to all of you for tuning into this episode of Talk Exchange.